As you all probably know by now, there has been a gigantic drought of Pokemon news for quite a while, and I'm actually very happy about that. We've seen how in the span of a year, 3 Pokemon games were released, being BDSP followed up with Legends Arceus, which later led to Scarlet and Violet. And while the ups and downs were shown throughout each new installment to the series, I believe the Pokemon Company realized that it's time to take a step back for a minute and evaluate where things are headed for the future of this series. I almost forgot we even got an announcement of Legends ZA, and because there has been practically nothing mentioned about this title, I think it will be a very nice thing to see when it comes to a prepared series of advertisements by them to talk about the game slowly and to build up hype for the release of this title. However, what surfaced on the internet a little while back took people by surprise, myself included, and that Game Freak is looking to hire more people to fill in various different positions to work on projects. And this is something we have been wanting to see for a very long time. The time cycle for when games get released is known to not be enough for Game Freak to fully release a polished up game that is satisfactory by not just their standards and what they want to set for themselves, but for their audiences as well. I really miss the level of passion we got from the older titles, and with this news that we just got, it could actually shape up to that same level of care that we saw in these games to be brought back. And this is something we for sure want to see, not just for us in general, but for the series as a whole. I love Pokemon, and I always want this series to succeed, as do many other people. It just pains me when we take 1 step forward and 2 steps back all the time. I can still never forgive them for what they gave us for Gen 4 quote-unquote remakes, but that's besides the point. The past is the past, and what we can do now is look optimistically at the future for what we are potentially going to get, and hopefully set a standard to the Pokemon Company for how they should be handling their games. With that being said, it's been revealed that there are also plans for Legends ZA to release in 2025. Listen, that's great. I'd even want them to push for a 2026 release, and I'm being dead serious about that too. By the time they released this, it would have been 3 years since Scarlet and Violet came out, but we also have to take into consideration how overlapped projects are at Game Freak, and we also need to take note at how long it was even being developed while Scarlet and Violet were going on, and including the DLC for those games that came out too. Maybe, just maybe, this game would have had at most 4 years of time in development, making this one of the longest developed games in a while. With the announcement of new hires to expand the team, I can't really tell you if they're either cooking or being rushed again. It's hard to tell at this point, but like I mentioned before, I want to look at this optimistically for the future. Perhaps the time granted to them allowed them to reevaluate their resources to push out a product that not just meets their own expectations, but blows the fans away, and I really hope that this becomes the case when it happens. It's really impressive in hindsight as to how much the team can accomplish in such a time crunch, and I remember when Legends Arceus released, especially at the part with Volo and how everyone experienced that epic battle, having 3 phases all back to back, it was hype. They can cook, but of course they just need more time. With the new hires, it introduces fresh takes, fresh perspectives, fresh creativity. It can really create an open approach for what they can do and what they can accomplish, and that is what I'm looking forward to the most out of this. According to this article from Game Rant, even though Scarlet and Violet sold well, the critics and feedback really dragged the game down to the gutters, making it not as highly ranked as other titles. Rightfully so, we've all seen this. They claim they take feedback seriously, and I really hope that they do, as doing something like this is a great way to not only respond and listen to the fans for what they want, but making that a stepping stone for the future. I just really hope that they don't fumble this at all. I want to give them a benefit of a doubt, but with announcements like these, I won't be surprised if there are going to be people purposely criticizing the game to its core to see if what they did behind the scenes actually paid off or not. Completely fair to do, by the way. Not saying that that's a bad thing at all. I'm probably going to be doing the same thing myself when this game comes out. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like Scarlet and Violet had a bazillion people working on the game. But how utilized were the resources used to create the product though? If what we saw at release was the final product they pumped out, and there were that many people working on it, in retrospect, I really don't think Game Freak was able to utilize everyone effectively. If you're hearing this and mentioning that time is the biggest issue, which is why this theory is being thought of, I'd say you're probably right on the dot. With this sudden change in staff development, I can only assume without confirmation that the issues they faced when making Gen 9 are going to actually be addressed this time around. I guarantee you they weren't happy with the end product. Though sales hardly matter, it's the quality that damages the brand. I don't think anyone would want to be known for making a lot of money selling some half-whack product to consumers, so to be honest, they have a lot of work to do so that they can rebuild that foundation. But only time will tell. I'm not a game development expert and I will never claim to be an expert. I'm only going off what I'm seeing, so I can only make assumptions. But if this game flops, this is going to look super bad. Like, I don't think we'll hear the end of it for a while if that is the case. For all I know, all this speculation and discussion that people are having could just be an oversight and that we are in capable hands. Truthfully, something inside me is saying that we are going to have a banger of a game coming, especially with the continuous talks of another Switch being released, which Nintendo has already addressed, so it's basically confirmed. But the one thing that we just need to see is, for one, the console and how it's going to perform with how games are going to look moving forward, and then the inevitable reveal of how it will look for when Pokemon showcases anything about the game at all on the new hardware. I'm very optimistic that with the extended time and resources they are utilizing, hopefully, that this Legend ZA game is going to set a brand new foundation for Pokemon games, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. But overall, I believe that this is a W for the Pokemon company and for us fans in general, and I really hope that we get a really good game out of them in 2025. I'm not sure if there will be a Presents related presentation sometime soon to talk about Legend ZA. I highly doubt it. I prefer we keep the news on a super low radar personally, because I really want them to come at us with bangers left and right to give us some excitement and something to look forward to. Because if this succeeds the way we think, I truly believe we are going to be expecting some amazing things out of the Pokemon company, and that is a vision of reality that I would love to see come to fruition, just as I'm sure everyone else would like to see as well. But other than that, thank you guys for watching today's video. Let me know in the comments about what you think about this. Does it concern any of you? And if it does or if it doesn't, let me know. I would love to know. Join the Discord server if you haven't. I released a ROM hack not too long ago that you can find details on in there, which the support has been pretty crazy, so huge thanks to everyone that has played it so far. But more on that at a different time. Alongside all of that, you can also play Pokemon Battle Revolution online against other people and much more, like having access to a ton of resources for your Pokemon playthroughs and other materials. So if that sounds cool, then join up. Leave a like and subscribe if you are new to not miss out on any of these videos. And with that being said, take care of yourselves. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.